I went ahead and did the hard work of unlocking all the heads, and now we're gonna pass on that knowledge to you. Get it? Head knowledge. First off, classic head, Bobby head, these are unlocked by default. Next up, we have some pretty self-explanatory ones. Concierge, Conjunctivious Tentacles, and Mamatic, all 50 kills. Timekeeper, the Giant, and Scarecrow are all 25 kills. And then you have Hand of the King, the Servant, the Queen are all 15 kills each, except the Queen happens to be 12 for some reason. The Collector's Hood, you get that from beating the Collector 10 times. Black Hole is a bit of a tough one. You have to get through the entire island untouched. My recommendation for this is to simply do custom mode with the Curse Sword in your backpack, and then try to speed run through 0 BC without taking any damage. White Hole is actually pretty easy to get. You just need a 200 curse. Once you've unlocked the Cursed Flask mutation, it's very easy to just spam health pots in order to get up to the 200. You can do that very easily with a mix of Tainted Flask and the new Cursed Flask mutation. That allows you to drink no matter what your HP is. You can simply hold down L1 and it will automatically do the chugs for you. Violet is unlocked by default. Red Hole is, I think it's only like 10 heads required. It's a very low number. You'll get this one very quickly. Green Hole is obtained by unlocking multiple items in the game. I don't have the exact number, but it doesn't take you very long to get this one either, so long as you're doing all of your blueprints. Basically the same thing for Blue Hole, except this is for your runes and upgrades. So you won't really see this until you have all the runes in the game at least. And then you have to get your meta stuff like the flasks and all of that stuff. Fighter's Head is obtained from using the Worm Grenade to kill Hand of the King. My recommendation is to not use any other items once he is low enough HP. And make sure that your biters do not apply bleed or poison to the enemy. It has to be just the biter's head as the only damage being dealt. Vortex is unlocked by default. Sanguine Vortex just needs you to fully clear a biome without taking any damage. You could simply speed run through prison quarters and then you'll get it. Abyssal Vortex requires winning the game multiple times in a row. If you can get 5 wins in a row, you're guaranteed to get this one. Dark Vortex is obtained when you get even more heads. The number might be 20. Simply keep collecting them and you'll get it in no time. Gillian Head is gotta meet them all. You have to talk to every NPC in the game. The ones that I were missing were in the bank, especially the one that's hiding from the Mimic. I think that was the real one that I was missing this entire time. For Fisherman's Hood, I did try to talk to the fisherman right before the Infested Shipwreck. I didn't get the skin from that, so I think it might simply be from collecting head cosmetics. For this one, I'm not 100% sure what's required, but I can tell you what I did, which was I bought a leg hugger in High Peak Castle. I didn't use the leg hugger at all, even in the Hand of the King fight. I just summoned it at the end without it being transformed, and I simply went through the fountain. And after that, I got the unlock. Flawless Torch requires you to get a flawless kill on every boss in the game. I do believe this also includes the Collector in 5 BC, so this one might take you a little while. To unlock the cell, I believe you have to carry 1,000 cells at one time. My recommendation is to do a full run of Dead Cells in custom mode with the same custom mode modifiers that I use for cell farming. You can check that in the description of this video. Evil Minion Head is from reading all the credits. Once you finish a run, this will randomly pop up around the time that the Evil Empire credits start rolling. Toxic Blob, die from short illness. This requires you to die from poison. Very easy to do if you can just drink the Cursed Flask and then jump into poison in the Toxic Sewers, or take a Curse Sword and drop into it. The Glitch Head is from getting the true victory in 5 BC. This one might take you a little bit, but just get the true ending in Dead Cells and you'll have the head. Mushroom Boy Cap is from Arboretum. The way I know for sure that this works is to have a Mushroom Boy in the Arboretum. I also don't kill any Mushroom Boys at the same time. So what I actually do is that right before I leave, I spawn my Mushroom Boy and then hit the portal. Very easy to do if you speed run through the map and not touch a single one. Horde Zero Hood requires you to kill Hand of the King with a turret. You can have multiple turrets at the same time, but my recommendation is something that does not have a DOT to it. So for example, using heavy turret, double crossbow-matic, things that only do their own damage. And preferably, don't have a turret that leaves fire on the ground when it's destroyed. Magma Blob simply requires you to hop into lava. For some reason, I couldn't do this with assist mode turned on, so make sure that you turn that off and then hop into the lava right in the beginning of the level. Shadow Blob requires you to die from darkness. This one's also very easy to do. Go into custom mode, activate your darkness modifier. This will have it active in prison quarters, and then you can simply die in prison quarters. Sweet Blob requires you to have lots of biters on the screen at the same time. It's more than just one worm's grenade worth. You should be able to do it fairly easily if you go into custom mode, equip yourself with a legendary and then a normal one, and then spawn them all. For bonus measure, if you don't get it, equip yourself with a weapon that also generates biters on kill, spawn all of your worm grenades, and then start killing monsters with your basic attack. Spatial Anomaly is the last of the collect all the heads. I believe you do need all of them in order to get this one. Menacing Anomaly requires you to be cursed when you beat the game. Again, this is very easy to do if you simply chug Cursed Flask before you leave. And for good measure, do this with your Curse Sword run, using Aspect of the Damned. Dark Blowtorch, triumph over a major threat on the Razor's Edge. You actually need to kill a boss with only 1 HP left. My recommendation is to have your HP relatively low, maybe play something like Tactics. You can use a shield holding up the block button to sort of reduce some of the damage you take all the way down to around like 25%, maybe 30%. From there, you can dedicate yourself to taking one big hit from a boss. Once you get hit, you'll go down to 1 HP, run away from the boss to make sure that you don't heal yourself back up by mistake, and then from there, you can get your kill. Blowtorch is unlocked by default. Golden Blowtorch you get from having $200,000 in your inventory. Easiest way to get this is to go into the training room with Midas Blood, Dead Inside, and then as many points in your stats as possible. And then you can just face tank something like the Servants until you get all of your gold, since the Servants really shouldn't kill you outright. Bright Red Blowtorch requires you to kill a boss using the Fire Blast. This one is easiest to do if you go to Mama Tick, because you cannot kill the boss with the actual fire damage over time. It has to die to the Fire Blast, and Mama Tick cannot burn anyway, so that's the easiest way to go about it. And then finally we have Boss Cell. This is obtained from getting all of the boss cells in the game. Your basic journey through the game should get you this unlock. And there you have it, all the heads you can unlock. If anyone has any tips that I missed on how to get these more easily, I know there's a lot of training room ideas that you can do. Feel free to leave those in the comments, help out your fellow viewers. While you're there, take a look at some of the other guides that we have up, maybe some things for the final update for Dead Cells. But otherwise, hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you on the next video.